In this video you will learn how to create a walk cycle for an AT-AT in Blender. I uploaded a rigged model so everyone can follow this tutorial. You will find the download link in the video description. After a few render scenes we start with the tutorial. The legs of the AT-AT are in the start position of the walk cycle. The start position is also the end position. We want to model some kind of angle. The front right leg moves first, the rear right leg moves second, the front left leg moves third, and at last the rear left leg. I planned 200 frames for the entire walk cycle. This means 50 frames for animation of each leg. Frame 100 is the mirrored start position. To simulate the forward movement, one leg is put forward and the other leg slowly slide backwards, all at the same speed of course. In our example, the front left leg animation starts at frame 100. The position at frame 100 minus the initial position divided by 100 gives us a slide speed of 0.02328 meters per frame. The start position at the y-axis at the front right is 1.54499 meters and must be reached again in frame 200. That means we multiply our slide speed by 150 and subtract this value from the start position. The front right leg must be set at minus 1.9472 meters at frame 50. I have done this calculation for each leg. I packed the position in a TXT and Excel file and put them in the same direction as the blend file. In the Excel file, all keyframes are even marked yellow. The Excel file is shown as an image in case you can't open it. When you opened up the blend file, the viewport should look like this. With 3 on the numpad, you can switch to side view. First you select the armature. All bones should be selected. And you switch from object mode to pose mode. The most important bone in the armature is the inverse kinematics bone. It's this one peeking out on the side. Select all inverse kinematics bones, switch to frame 1 and define a keyframe with I and choose location rotation. With Shift D, you duplicate the keyframe and move it to frame 200 at the end of the animation. With these buttons you can jump to the next keyframe, which is sometimes very useful. With Alt A you deselect everything and only select the IK bone of the front right leg. It is in the start position 1.545 on the y-axis. This leg needs to be put forward first. To do this we go to frame 50. I copied the position values into the script window. This makes it a little bit easier. I copied the first value, go back to layout, and here I set the y value to minus 1.9472. I set a keyframe with I and choose location rotation. If you go to the side view and play the animation, it looks like this. The leg goes forward and slowly slides backwards again. But we don't just slide the leg forward. We go to frame 25 and lift the leg with G, Z and rotate the foot around the x-axis. And then we create a keyframe again with I and location rotation. The animation looks much better now. That was already all the work for the front right leg. Now let's go to the rear right. The rear right leg only slides backwards 50 frames, moves forward to frame 100 and then slides back until frame 200. I select frame 50 and get the position from the scripting tab. I put the value back in the Y position. With I create a keyframe again. Next to frame 100, copy the new value and paste it into the Y position. Create a keyframe again. Then this time I go to frame 75, raise the leg a little bit and rotate the foot. Create a keyframe again. Then we test the whole thing. Now we need to animate the legs on the other side. The first keyframe is at frame 100. 50 frames later we put the leg forward again. And we raise the leg a little bit in between. And finally on the rear left, we jump directly to frame 150 and then we raise the leg at frame 175. Our walk cycle is complete. At the moment the animation looks a little bit stiff. The legs move, but the rest of the model doesn't move at all. To fix this, we select the main bone. We go to frame 1 and create a keyframe with eye and location rotation. We copy the keyframe with Shift D and move it to frame 50. We copy again to the frames 100, 150 and 200. We now do the following. When one leg goes up, the whole model goes up too. And when the foot is put on the ground, the weight pulls the model slightly down. We go to frame 5 first. The last thing that moved was the rear left leg from the previous walk cycle. We lower the main bone a little bit with GZ and rotate it on the Y-axis a little bit towards us. And we create a keyframe. At frame 25 we raise the main bone a bit and create a keyframe. Next we go to frame 55. Before frame 55 the front right leg has been moved. We lower the main bone again and rotate away from us on the Y-axis. We set a keyframe again and jump to frame 75. There we raise the main bone again a bit. We will keep doing this until the end of the animation. If we start the animation now, the whole thing looks much more dynamic than the pure leg animation. That's it for the tutorial. You can create an action from a walk cycle and combine it with other animations. I will link a video on how to create an action at the end. The next step could be an animation for the head. I hope you enjoyed playing around with the rig and I will see you in the next video.